Join, they'll be a couple minutes late. I want to thank our sponsors, Bavarian Bakery and Trey Sorrell Ice Cream Parlor. And I also want to thank my Instant team for putting this presentation on. We are going to be recording it. It will be on our website, so everyone will have access in a couple days to be able to watch it again, or if you missed it. Um, I'm going to go ahead and let Anthony start. Anthony?
Thank you, Cindy. So today we will be discussing and we'll give you an idea on how to build your website. Okay, so just to give you a short introduction about this topic. So uh, in today's digital first world, your website, as we know that this is not just an online presence. So it's the cornerstone of your business growth and success. So for small and medium enterprises or SMEs, a well-designed website can be powerful sales engine or machine, driving leads, conversion, and revenue. So join us for an insightful coffee coaching session hosted by the Central Delaware Chamber of Commerce and us, the My Instant team, and we will guide you through the process of building your website from scratch. So whether you're starting fresh or looking for, a revamp for your existing site, this session will equip you with the tools, strategies, and best practices to create a website that not only looks great but also delivers measurable results. So let's start. So the main objective of this discussion is to empower small and medium enterprises or SMEs with actionable insight on how to leverage their website to increase sales and customer engagement. So what you learn in this topic. So first, the essential elements of a high converting website. Second, how to structure a website to attract and engage your target audience. Tips for optimizing user experience or UX and driving sales. The role of SEO or search engine optimization. Content and design in transforming your website into a sales engine. So this session is perfect for business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketing professionals also who want to harness the full potential of their website to grow their business. So let's grab your coffee, bring your questions, and let's turn your website into your most valuable sales tools. So the agenda for today, we will give you a glimpse of your website as a business tool, as an introduction, choosing the right platform for your needs, designing for conversion, search engine optimization, basics, content strategy for engagement, e-commerce essential, analytics and continuous improvement, maintenance and security, and lastly, we will have a question and answer, and we will provide personal advice if you have any concerns or feedback with your website also. So your website is more than just an online brochure. It's a powerful business tool that can drive growth, build trust, and generate revenue. So in today's digital age, your website often serves as the first point of contact between your business and potential customer. So let's break down why your website is so crucial or critical and how it can work for you. Here are the key points. First, the role of website beyond just an online presence. So what does it mean? A website isn't just a placeholder for your business information. It's a 24/7 salesperson, marketing tool, and also a customer service hub all in one. So why it matters? Because your website can, of course, generate leads through contact forms, newsletter, or free resources that you provided within your website. Second is convert visitors into customer with clear calls to action. Example of clear to call action is book now, shop now, consult with us, talk with us, or call us. And then lastly, it builds trust by showcasing testimonials, case studies, or certification. So for example, a best example is a local bakery's website doesn't just list its menu. It allows customer to place orders online, read reviews, and even schedule pickups, turning casual visitors into loyal customer. So something like that. Second is statistics on consumer behavior and impact of digital touchpoints. So what it means, consumer today really heavily on digital channels. So most of the consumers or customer, they use digital platforms, to discover, research, and engage with businesses. And of course, your website is often the most critical touch point in their journey. So why it matters? So I gathered some data about this. So 75% of consumer judge a business credibility based on its website design, as per Stanford University. Next is 88% of online consumers are less likely to return to a website after a bad experience, as per Amazon Web Services. And then lastly, 46% of shoppers say they'd leave a website if it wasn't clear what the business does, as per co-marketing. So best example here is, imagine a potential customer searching for a plumber. If your website is slow, hard to navigate, or doesn't clearly state your services, of course, they likely move on to a competitor with a better online presence. So, how to leverage your website as a business tool? First, make it user friendly. So, ensure your website is easy to navigate, loads quickly, and works well on mobile devices. Second is focus on content. Use clear, engaging content that speaks directly to your target audience and addresses their needs. Third is we have to optimize for conversions, like include strong calls to action or CTAs like contact us, get a code, or shop now, something like that to guide visitors toward taking action or proceeding with the next step, which is purchasing. And then lastly, build trust. You have to showcase testimonials from your previous or existing clients or customers, also include reviews and case studies to establish credibility. So your website is one of the most valuable assets your business has. So by treating it as a business tool rather than just an online presence, you can attract more customers, build trust, and drive growth. So let's work together and transform your website, okay, to a sales engine that works 24/7. So here, when building a website, choosing the right platform is crucial. So it's like picking the foundation for your house. So get it right, and everything else falls into place. So let's compare three popular platforms, which is the Wix, Shopify, and WordPress, across four key areas to help you decide which one of these is the best for your business. So let's have a quick comparison between these three platforms. If you're familiar with Wix, so I'll give you an explanation per category based on the key areas. So first is the ease of use. Wix is easiest to use. It's like a drag and drop builder to technical. Actually, no need technical skills here. Example: this is perfect for small bakery owner who wants to create a simple website in a few hours. While Shopify, under this key area, it's very user friendly. That is, you have to design specifically for e-commerce with intuitive tools. So example for Shopify, this is great for boutique owner who wants to set up an online store quickly. While WordPress, under this key area, it is steeper learning curve. It actually requires some technical knowledge or willingness to learn. So the best example for WordPress under ease of use is ideal for tech-savvy consultant who wants full control over their website. For the customization capabilities, for Wix, it has limited customization. Actually, it's easy to use but less flexible for complex design. Example is this is good for basic portfolio or service-based business. While Shopify, moderate customization, lots of themes and apps, but some limitation for non-e-commerce features. Example, this is perfect for an online store with unique branding needs. While WordPress, on the other hand, it is highly customizable. It has thousands of themes and plugins for endless possibilities. And this is best for business with specific design or functionality requirements like membership site, um, fitness gym, something like that. For the cost effectiveness, Wix, it's affordable actually. The plans start at $16 per month, but limited scalability. Example, it has a great for small business with tight budgets. Shopify, it has a mid-range pricing. It starts at $29 per month plus transaction fees. So this is worth it the investment for business, focus on e-commerce. And lastly, for WordPress, it has a variable cost because although it's free software, but you'll pay for hosting, themes, and plugins. And this is perfect for cost-effective businesses who wants to plan to scale and invest in advanced features. And then last key area, e-commerce functionality. For Wix, basic e-commerce only, good for small online stores with simple needs. Shopify, actually, this is built for e-commerce because it has robust tools for inventory, payments, and shipping. And WordPress, it is flexible for e-commerce because it requires plugins such as WooCommerce, but highly scalable. So these are some of the recommendations based on your needs. For small businesses with simple needs, the best platform is Wix. Why? Because it's easy to use, affordable, and perfect for basic website or small online stores. For e-commerce focused businesses, the best platform is Shopify because this is designed for online selling, user friendly, and actually scalable for growth. And for businesses with technical skills or growth plans, the platform is WordPress. Why? Because this is highly customizable and cost effective for scaling and ideal for businesses with unique needs. So, to sum up, choosing the right platform depends on your business size, technical skills, and goals. So, whether you're small business owners, an e commerce entrepreneur, or a growing enterprise, there's a platform that fits your needs. So your website isn't just about looking good; it's about driving action. So whether you want your visitor to sign up, buy a product, or contact you, designing for conversion is the key. So let's break down into two parts: the user experience and also the conversion tactics. So let's go with the user experience fundamentals. So for the navigation simplicity, your website should be easy to navigate so visitor can find the way they need quickly. So confusing navigation frustrates users and increases bounce rate. So what is bounce rate? Later I'll share some of the definition and what is bounce rate. But just to give you an idea, bounce rate is the percentage of the website visitors who lands on a page and then leave immediately without clicking anything else on the site. So essentially bouncing back to where they came from. So that's bounce rate. So best example is a clear menu. with labels like your website, um, labels like home, services, about us, and contact. So that helps user move seamlessly through your website. So next is mobile responsiveness. So your website should look and work perfectly on devices like smartphones, tablets, and desktop. So why it matters? Because over 50% of web traffic comes from mobile devices. So a poor mobile experience can cost you customers. Okay, so example, a restaurant's website that allows users to easily view the menu, make reservation or call directly from their phone. And lastly, for loading speed, your website should load quickly, ideally in 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, because slow landing times lead to higher bounce rates and lost conversion. Example is an online store that loads product images and checkout pages quickly keeps shoppers engaged and reduces cart abandonment. So for conversion tactics, first, the placement and design of calls to action. These are the buttons or links that guide users to take action like buy now, sign up, or contact us. Why it matters? Because well-designed CTAs or call to action button grab attention and make it clear what is the next step. Example, a bright contrasting, get a free code button placed above the fold. For example, it's in a green button or red button, something like that. And then second is importance of the landing pages for specific marketing campaigns. So a landing page is a standalone page designed for specific campaign or offer. So it eliminates distractions and focuses users on one goal, increasing conversion rate. So example is a landing page for a webinar sign up with a clear headline, benefits benefits of the webinar in a list form and a simple form. And lastly, use of customer testimonial and trust signals. So testimonial reviews, trust badges, like secure checkout, it builds credibility and reassure visitors. So this is important because people trust other customers' experiences more than your marketing messages. Example, an e-commerce site displaying customer reviews and 100% satisfaction guarantee badge to boost confidence in their purchases. So in a nutshell, of course, ensure your website is easy to navigate, mobile friendly, and fast loading. Second is use clear, compelling call to action button to guide user toward the desired action. Create targeted landing pages for campaigns and leverage testimonials to build trust. So designing for conversion is about sorry Designing for conversion is about creating a seamless, user-friendly experience that guide visitors toward taking action. So by focusing on the user experience fundamentals and implementing proven conversion tactics, you can turn your website into a powerful tool for growth. So let's build a website that not only looks great but also delivers results. So let's have some, background and some basics about search engine optimization. So for those who are not familiar with SEO or search engine optimization, it is important in web development or website development because it helps improve a website visibility on search engines. Okay, and a well-optimized website attracts more visitors, making it easier for people to discover the content. So by focusing on SEO, developers can enhance user experience and drive more traffic to the website and leading to better engagement. So it it will have minimizing requests or lessen the request and quality content. And also, SEO or search engine optimization is the process of optimizing your website so it ranks higher on search engine like Google and Bing. Okay, and when your website is more visible, you attract more potential customers without paying for ads. So more on organic. So let's break down the basics of SEO and how you can use it to grow your business. So first is the keyword research. Keyword research, what are your customers searching for? So, what it means, keywords are the words or phrases people type into search engine like Google and Bing. So, your goal is to find out and use the keywords your potential customers are searching for. This is important because using the right keywords helps search engine understand what your website is about and it matches to the relevant searches. So example here is bakery in Delaware and you might target keywords like best cupcakes in Delaware or custom birthday cakes near me. Second element of SEO is on-page SEO. So optimizing your website content. So on-page SEO involves optimizing individual pages on your website to rank higher. So this includes like the title tags or the title of the page on your website. For example, best cupcakes in Delaware and the name of your bakery. Okay, and then make sure the headings is part of the content, make it clear. And also for the images, you have to put description for images so search engine can read them also. So why it matters, because well optimized content helps search engine understand and rank your pages. So the example here is a bakery's about us on their website with a title tag like about, if the name of the bakery is Delaware Bakery, and also the meta description, which is fresh handmade cupcakes in Delaware. So that's how you optimize your on page and content. So these are some of the actually elements of the SEO, like the technical SEO on making your website easy to crawl and off page, like building your website's authority, and local SEO, like the Google My Business, so attracting customer in your area. So we will not deep dive on this because this is quite complex and technical. But just to give an idea, there are five key elements for SEO, and this tree is part of them. And putting it all together, research keywords, find out what your customers are searching for, optimize your content, use keywords in titles, headings, and meta description, improve technical SEO, so ensure your site is fast, mobile friendly, and secure, build authority, get backlinks, and engage on social media, and focus on local SEO, so optimize for local searches to attract nearby customers. So again, SEO is a powerful is a powerful way to make your website more visible to potential customers. So by focusing on these keywords, on-page optimization, and the rest of the key elements of SEO, you can improve your rankings and attract more traffic. So creating engaging content is also the key to building relationship with your audience, establishing authority and driving traffic to your website. So let's explore the three powerful content strategies: the blogging, the video content, and interactive content. So for blogging, this is for authority SEO, regularly publishing blog posts on topics relevant to your industry. It helps your website establish your business as an authority and improves your search engine optimization. This is important because blogs drive organic traffic. It also answers customers' questions and keep your website fresh and relevant. So how to do it? So you can write about topics about your audience, what they care about. Like for example, 5 tips for choosing the right cupcake flavor, something like that. And you can also use keywords naturally to improve search rankings and also include internal links to other pages on your website. Second is video content. So, video content for explaining products and services or behind the scenes looks. So, videos are a dynamic way to showcase your products. So, because the videos explain your services or give a behind the scene looks at your business. This is important because videos are highly engaging and can increase trust and connection with your audience. So how to do it? Just create short professional videos explaining how your products work and share behind the scenes content like a day in the life of our bakery team, something like that. And then post videos on your website, YouTube, and social media also. And lastly, interactive content like quizzes or surveys to increase engagement. So this type of content encourages user to actively participate, making their experience more memorable and engaging. This is important actually because interactive content boosts engagement. It collects valuable customer data and can even drive sales. So how to do it? Just create quizzes like what's your perfect cupcake flavor, or use survey to gather feedback like what's the new flavor should we add on our menu, something like that. And add interactive tool like calculators or polls. So the best example here is a bakery website with a quiz that recommends the perfect cake flavor based on the user's preferences, followed by a call to action button to place an order. In a nutshell, you know, start blogging. Write helpful keyword rich posts to build authority and improve SEO. Leverage video content. Use videos to explain your offerings and connect with your audience. Add interactive elements. Engage user with quizzes, survey, or tools that make your website more fun and interactive. So again, a strong content strategy keeps your audience engaged, builds trust, and drives traffic to your website. So by combining these key elements, you can create a dynamic online presence that sets your business apart. So let's turn your website into a hub of, engagement and growth. E-commerce essential if you're a business owner wanting to, sell online. Setting up an e-commerce store isn't just about listing products. Okay, so it's about creating a smooth shopping experience that turns visitor into customer. So here's what you need to focus on when it comes to e-commerce. So for business looking to sell online, setting up your online store, you have to choose the right e-commerce platform like Shopify, as we discussed earlier. So WooCommerce for WordPress or Wix based on your budget and needs. So ensure your store is, user friendly, easy to navigate, clear categories, and a search bar for the products. Mobile optimized, more than 60% or 50 to 60% of shoppers, they use mobile devices. You have to consider this also. And then lastly, fast loading. Pages should load in under 3 seconds to avoid losing customer. Product page optimization. So your product page should convince customer to buy. So you have to focus on first high quality images and videos. So show multiple angles and a zoom option so that they can zoom the product or even a 3D option. Next is compelling product descriptions. Instead of soft cotton t-shirt description, try something like ultra soft, breathable 100% cotton t-shirt. Perfect for everyday wear, something like that. So it's more enticing and people will not just, oh, this is an ordinary cotton t-shirt. Okay. And then customer reviews, like positive reviews, it boosts trust. And then lastly, clear call to action or CTA. So use strong CTA button like add to cart or buy now, limited stock only, something like that. And then next, shopping cart experience. So a complicated checkout process is the number one reason people abandon their cart. So let's simplify it by guest checkout options like you don't force user to create an account upon visiting or exploring your website. Auto save cart, let customer return later without losing their items. And then lastly, shipping cost upfront, hidden fees kill conversion. So be transparent with the extra fees or other charges. Next, you also have to consider the payment gateway or payment methods. Customers expect secure and convenient payment options. So make sure you offer credit, debit cards powered by Visa, MasterCard, Amex, digital wallets like PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, buy now, pay later, something like that, like Klarna, Afterpay. So this is a great for boosting high ticket sales. And then SSL, secure socket layer. I'll give you a background about this later. So this encrypt customers' data to prevent fraud and to protect their information or details. Okay. And then um, last strategy for e-commerce is upselling and cross-selling. So if you want to increase order value, try these simple tactics. So upselling, encouraging better versions like upgrade to the pro plan for only $10 more, something like that. While cross-selling, like you're suggesting related items. For example, this is very um, this is the best example for cross-selling. Customers who bought this phone case also bought a screen protector. So that's a cross-selling. And then limited time offers like add this to your cart now and get 10% off. And then lastly, bundles and discounts. Buy something like BOGO, like buy one, get one. Buy two, get one free, or complete your set and save 15%. So final thoughts, the key to a successful e-commerce store is simplicity, speed, and trust. So make it easy for customer to browse your website, uh, to buy, and also check out while offering value through optimized product pages and strategic upselling. So to build a successful website, you also need to measure its performance and make data-driven improvements. So let's explore how Google Analytics, if you're familiar with this one, basic metrics, and A/B testing can help your website continuously optimize your pages for better result. So let's have an introduction about Google Analytics. So what is Google Analytics? Google Analytics is a free tool that tracks and reports website traffic and also user behavior and conversion. This is important because it provides insight into how visitors interact with your site, helping you make informed decisions. So how to get started? You just create a Google Analytics account and add the tracking code to your website. Set up goals, for example, form submission, purchases to track conversion. And best example here is a bakery owner uses Google Analytics to see how many people visit their website, which pages of that website are most popular, and how many visitors place orders. So how we can interpret basic metrics. So key metrics in Google Analytics help you understand your website's performance. So here are the basics. Sessions. So these are the numbers of visit to your website. Users, these are the number of unique visitors. Bounce rate, as I mentioned earlier, the percentage of visitor who leave after viewing only one page. And average session duration, how long visitors stay on your website, and then lastly, conversion rate. So the percentage of visitor who complete a goal like making a purchase, acquire something, etc. So this is important because these metrics show how well your website is engaging visitors and driving results. Example, if your bounce rate is high at 70%, it may mean your homepage isn't engaging enough or it takes too long to load. So in the image here, you can see for the B2B or the average bounce rate for a B2B website is 56 below. While for a consumer base or a B2C website, it should be 45% below. So if your bounce rate is below this ceiling, it means your website is highly engaging. A/B testing for website elements. So it involves comparing two versions of a web page or element. Example, a headline or a call to action button or image. So to see which performs better. This is important and a very effective strategy actually because it helps you make data-driven decision to improve conversion and user experience. So how to do it? Just choose an element to test. Example, the call to action buy now button. And then you have two options, the red one and the green one. So use tools like Google Optimize or Optimizely to run the test and then analyze the result and implement the winning version if it's the red or the green. Okay. Example, a bakery again test two version of their product page. One with a large, bold call to action button and another with a smaller, subtler one. So to see which drives more orders. In a nutshell, set up Google Analytics to track your website performance and set goals, monitor key metrics, use data to identify strengths and areas for improvement, run A/B tests, experiment with different website elements to optimize for better results. And analytics and continuous improvement are essential for you know building a high performing website. And by using tools like Google Analytics, interpreting key metrics, and running these A/B tests, you can make data driven decisions that enhance user experience and drive growth. So this is the last part, the maintenance and security. Actually, this is one of the important that you have to consider having a website, and it isn't a set it and forget it tool. Okay, the website is not a set it and forget it tool. And it requires regular maintenance and security measures to stay functional, safe, and effective. So let's break down the essentials like regular updates, basic security measures, and backup strategies. So for regular updates for security and performance, your website software, plugins, and themes ensures it stays secure and performs well by regularly updating them. This is important because outdated software can have vulnerabilities that hackers exploit, and it may slow down your website. So example here is a bakery website that updates its WordPress core and plugins monthly, to prevent security breaches and ensure fast loading times. So as promised earlier about the SSL or secure socket layer, so it encrypts data between your website and its visitor. So ensuring sensitive information such as the password, the payment details, etc., is protected. So why it's important? Because SSL certificate is essential for users, to trust you for search engine optimization and for compliance also with data protection regulations. So how to do it? Just purchase an SSL certificate from your hosting provider of your website or use free options like Let's Encrypt. And also take note of this, ensure your website URL starts with HTTPS instead of HTTP because if your URL is with S, it means that your website is secured and safe to visit. Okay. Best example is an online store with an SSL certificate that displays a padlock icon on the browser, reassuring customers their payment information is secure. And then for backup strategies, regularly backing up your website ensures you can restore it quickly if something goes wrong, like example, hacking, server failure, or accidental deletion. So this is important because without backups, you risk losing your entire website and also its data. How to do it? Just use automated backup tools provided by your hosting provider or plugins like AppDrop Plus for WordPress, store backups in multiple locations like cloud storage and external drives, and test your backups periodically to ensure they work. So, example here, a consulting business that backs up its website weekly and store copies on Google Drive and an external hard drive for added security. In a nutshell, update regularly because you have to keep your website's software and plugins and themes up to date for security and performance. Secure your website by installing an SSL certificate to protect your user data and build trust. Back up often, like use automated tools to back up your website and store copies in multiple locations. Again, maintenance and security are one of the backbone of a reliable website. So by staying on top of updates, implementing basic security measures, and having a solid backup strategy, you can protect your website from threats and ensure it runs smoothly. So let's open the floor for any questions or feedback. If you have any, let us know, and I have a team here that who can provide personalized advice.
Hey, Anthony, I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir, Steve.
Yeah, so really quickly, just to clarify, the difference between like SEO, search engine optimization, and pay to play, basically, right? So when you're talking about search engine optimization, you're talking about optimizing your website, as you go along or as you design it, so that the website engines can crawl it, and you don't have to pay for actually like people to come to your website. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other part I had was Facebook versus real websites, because what we see around here a lot locally, especially with like startups, is they'll post a lot of information and use Facebook as a website as opposed to a real website. So what's your opinion on using Facebook as a website versus a real website, or would you use both?
Yeah. Actually, to clarify that one, Facebook isn't, we cannot consider Facebook as a website, because a website is, again, is your um, forefront, or your image in the internet world, and it gives you the credibility. It creates build trust compared to Facebook, because we cannot guarantee that Facebook is, or having a Facebook page is, or a business, a small business, this Facebook is a legitimate business or something like that. So we highly recommend that even if you're a small business owners, you have to invest in a website. And also, Facebook is a tool or platform, to just to create awareness, and for brand visibility only. But for building trust, credibility, and for lead generation, website is the perfect tool for businesses, even if it's small or large enterprise.
So both websites and Facebook have a place, but they're different tools for different reasons, correct?
Yes, they have different functionality and purpose.
Got it. And then the last question I have is, and this is an interesting one because I know with a lot of local small businesses, this might not apply, but I know it's coming because we deal with international stuff as well. But in international areas, especially in Europe, they have to deal with what's called a GDPR. Are you familiar with that?
GDPR.
Yeah, the policies, the privacy policies and stuff like that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Europe, yeah, yeah. So I guess the thing to think about too is if you're selling international, you have to comply, and
Correct.
with that kind of stuff. So as far as making your website comply with those policies, what extra steps would you have to do?
Uh, for international transactions or visibility, again, you have to align and comply with the regions or the countries, for to prevent from any uh, problems when it comes to privacy, and also providing personal information, and of course for their payment details. So this protects the consumers from fraud, from being scammed by entering their information in an unsecured website. So make sure that you comply with the 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 country's regulation when it comes to international transactions, if you're up to target international market.
Yeah, so from what I've seen with dealing with international websites, they're really big on privacy. So there's a lot more of banners that are displayed and buttons that say, "Hey, we comply with European standards and such." And then same thing, the protection layers that go into it. I think on your the terms and conditions of your website or your privacy policy, you have
Yeah.
to list that you're complying with GDPR. So like if you're dealing with any customers, like if you're a local Delaware business and you're selling something internationally or you want to sell internationally, I think it's like important to make sure, right, that you comply. And I don't think it's too difficult. It's just adjusting your website a little bit from what I've seen. So is that something you guys can help with too?
Yes, actually, some of the website that we we serviced on is we put some of these disclaimers, terms and conditions, privacy policies, and also some certifications from third party entities, just to show how compliant our website is.
Okay, cool. That's all the questions I have. Thanks.
Um,
Any? Yeah.
yeah, so part of our business, we're actually currently in the process of hiring someone to build a site.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so with that, do you recommend more focusing on the content that we're putting into the site, so like blog posts or external links, or should we focus more on kind of media posting and content through media platforms like Facebook and Instagram to kind of boost that audience?
Okay. So, in starting a business, especially in using online platforms, it's part of the laying the foundation. So we start with a website by populating the website with important content like the about us, some of your articles or blog posts about your business, and even case studies and testimonials. And then after that, once you have completed those content from your website, you can now align that content with your social media platforms or profile. So you have to start with your website, completing all the important contents that can attract uh, visitors that is aligned with your objectives, the mission and vision, etc. Without making your website too hard selling. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, that is fantastic. Thank you. And then one more follow-up with that. What would you recommend if you're trying to get a broader audience? Because what my business sells is we're more of a luxury product than a necessity. So in order to draw customers in, would you recommend having kind of an interactive aspect to the website for sorry, I might cut out, for informing them more of the product?
For me, I highly recommend you provide storytelling marketing content. Like you have to, engage, make your customer as part of this act or this product. So you have also to consider the community, the values, etc., and
Mhm.
also create some interactive contents, like as I shared earlier, like some surveys, polls that will engage your potential audience or customers, so that you can understand what products are they are into, or what they really like and needs. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That's all I had to ask about.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Hi, Mark. I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time today and the information. Some of it is very consistent with some of the stuff we've seen online. To give you a little context, we have a commercial cleaning and janitorial service company that's all business to business. So some of the things we've struggled with internally is the time as a small business to allot to these things and what that payoff may look like. And so in a couple, we're kind of struggling in the content piece world. So like in the example of blog posts, from our little bit of market research, it seems like the only people that may be interested in something like that are going to be prospective buyers. So I don't know how far that goes to build brand awareness for a company like us, other than having something as a reference point on there. Um, we've kicked around, do we publish blog posts about cleaning tips and things of that
Mhm.
nature? But I don't find businesses going to look for those type of things that would come to our website for that. And then my follow up to that is obviously we're seeing the importance of video in the marketplace today, and we do have some before and afters of photos and quality of work for different lines of business we have where that's a little bit more prevalent to show. But our biggest issue with video is making it look professional. I can record something on my cell phone. It could look great on a cell phone. You go to put it on a YouTube page or on your website, it doesn't look the same. And then video editing is a huge thing. We don't know how to do it. We're not necessarily sure if there's easier programs that may help with that. And so, what would some of your feedback be for a company like us in commercial cleaning and janitorial service for blog content and then video content?
Okay. For content, let's start with the content. Since your target market is B2B, Okay. So mostly you have to create more emotional marketing videos.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to involve your previous or existing customers, as part of this campaign that they are satisfied with your service. So those kind of emotional content or videos, and also when it comes to blog posts, not just tips, but providing the benefits of
Sure.
partnering or acquiring with the third party service of this agency, something like that. And then while doing that blog post, you have to optimize that through using keywords or phrases like cleaning services nearby if you target it within your
Hmm.
city or state. So you have to consider also the geographic, like you start with the micro to macro.
Sure. Okay. Follow up to that would be in blog posts, because I could think of a number of things that we could write a blog post about that would be good content for the website. My question then becomes, I don't, I see a lot of them. I wouldn't be able to necessarily repeat. Is there a way if you have blog posts, let's say we write, 10 to 20 of them, we post them throughout the year. Is there a way to recycle that on your website to freshen it up, or do they always have to be new pieces of content added?
Actually, for older blog posts, you can tweak it and improve it based
Okay.
on the trends now. So all you have to do is make sure that this blog post is relevant to the market trends and also to your customer, because yearly the customer behavior changes.
Sure.
So you have to align also with them. So it's okay to modify and refresh and recycle them. Make sure
Okay.
that updated the information, the contact details, the call to actions, the benefits, etc.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Any more question?
Well, it was very, very good. I want to thank you and my instant team. Um, if anyone needs their information, I don't know if you're going to add that at the end here.
Yeah, of course. Actually, just last note, okay, key takeaways of this discussion. Understanding the key elements that make a website effective for sales, and practical tips and tools to immediately improve their online platform. And lastly, awareness of the ongoing nature of website management for sustained business growth. So this session actually is designed to be, both educational and immediately applicable, and helping small and medium enterprises or owners see their website development from, you can see your website from a strategic business perspective rather than just a technical task. So that's all from my instant team. So this is our contact information. So if you have inquiries about website services, digital marketing, so you can reach us in this contact information. Thank you.
And I appreciate everything you did today. I thank you and everybody for joining. And our next section next month will be on AI and learning how to advertise with AI. Hope to see you there again. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.